Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another edition of Techno Party. Well, that's what my music's like. Norma, I like my Techno Party music. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but ladies and gentlemen, this is what I call the big reveal, where you actually get to see us on camera. Well, at least one of us looks good, Ms. Norma Morales. I'm Alex Parra. Beside me, as you can tell, I still don't know what direction to go in, is Ms. Norma Morales. Norma, good evening. How are you and how's life? And, well, we'll talk about Facebook in a second, but first of all, how are you this evening, Norma?
I'm doing good, Alex. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, Norma. Actually feeling
Good.
better. I took a couple of pills this evening. My head was hurting, and drugs are getting me through, so I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
Well, at least it's helping, right?
Something's got to help, Norma, at my age, just to keep me propped up. Whatever it takes, just to keep me going. Speaking of health, how are you, Norma? How's your family? How are you guys coping?
You're saying health, right? I just want to reconfirm that that's what you meant, right?
Health, yes.
Health. No, we're doing good, Alex. I mean, it's just another day. Like I said, day by day. Cheers to you with your fancy water there,
My
sparkling
Perrier,
water.
Norma. It's my Perrier and my Pyrin tablets. The only thing that keep me going.
Hey, why is it that I'm banned
Yes.
from drinking water when we're on live, but you could still drink? I need to talk to our producer about that.
Speaking of, we got Miss Producers here with us today, and I'm going to show you Producer Cam, Norma. It's a new little thing I've come up with. Let's see if we can swing it. There's Producer Cam. Are you happy today, Miss Producer? Are you enjoying it? Okay, so in case we get in trouble, ladies and gentlemen, producer here will tell us what's happening. So that's Producer Cam, and there you go. So just in case something breaks, it's not Uncle Alex's fault. It's the producer's fault. Norma, do we have anyone watching? Norma, they messed up Facebook. I just gotten used to Facebook. And this evening, literally logging on before the show, I don't even know what's happening now, Norma.
I know you're in crisis mode.
This is.
We had to calm you down though for a while though.
Ms. Producer, help me out with this. I don't understand what's happening. What do we do? Same thing, Norma. First of all, is anyone watching? That's usually the first question I ask.
It looks like we have a few. I haven't shared it on mine. I need to share it on. Have you shared it on your platform?
Yeah.
No, Alex, you got to remember to share it on yours, like not on a different one. You got to share it on your personal one.
I don't even know how to get there, Norma. Do I search Facebook and then that's going to get me there? I'm going to try. I'm really trying really hard. Okay, here we go. I got there. I'm going to share it somehow, Norma. I think it's done. Riveting program where Uncle Alex figures out Facebook. Norma, at some point in life, technology just passes you by. I'm there. My parents used to call and say, "Hey, can you help me with this and that?" And I am now that way. I talk to my son or Miss Producer over here to help me, but it's really sad, Norma. Are you there yet, or is technology still your friend?
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not there yet. I think I've got a lot more years to come.
I think you've got about 15 more minutes, Norma, and you'll be joining me. Years. Listen to this. Norma, a big show today. We're back on the air. Was it last night? I don't even remember anymore, Norma. After our 4th of July holiday, our little break.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to be back. By the way, we had a show this at noon with Enrique Vasquez in Español, and that was kind of fun. So our rhythm here on Deportes Nation will be the good show with Enrique and Alex, and then whatever this is.
Really?
Oh, I'm sorry. She heard that, producer.
The thing is, I don't get paid for this, and then for you to throw that out there, Alex, I need to be on strike.
Norma, look, the judge said you had to do this for a year and a half to make up for your sins. That's all I know.
Oh, I guess I gotta comply with it, right?
I think so. Norma, today we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL, talk a little bit about sports teams as far as names, and maybe a few things that Donald Trump said in the past couple of days. You brought up Trump yesterday, our president. We're talking a little bit about WNBA, sports betting. We're also going to talk a little bit, Norma, about the importance of sports to our lives. And I think all of that is, as they say, fair game. And we've got our top cinco this evening, Norma. Our top cinco favorite uniforms of all time. You think you and I are
Yeah.
you think you and I are gonna match?
I have a really good idea on what your top one is going to be. And if I am right,
Okay.
you owe me food.
I owe you food. Well, Norma, we're trying to get you off this food thing.
Thanks, Alex. I know I really should be off food for a
Actually,
while, to be
let me
honest with you.
let me ask Miss Producer. Miss Producer, do you know the top 5 uniforms? Yeah, that's a yes. Okay, I like the way she
Like,
shakes the camera. And are they pretty good today? You can just say yes or no, Miss Producer. Okay, that means yes. Okay, I've gotten dizzy, so I'm gonna have to go back to the other camera, Norma. I have no idea what Miss Producer is doing today, but it's a little confusing. So that's the producer cam, Norma, and I think in the background in producer cam you'll be able to see, maybe not, but my ducks back there, Norma. Remember my duck I got for Father's Day?
yeah, the one the item that you didn't know what it was and how to turn it on, and finally figured it out. Yeah.
It's called batteries, Norma. It took me a little while to figure it
It
out,
took-
but it was batteries. It was batteries. Norma, any shout outs this evening? Is anyone you need to share with? Because really, your family watches the show. It's the Norma's Family Show. That's what we should name it. Why are you laughing, Miss Producer? It's true.
Well, no, it's that I've got friends, Alex. People follow me, so I mean, don't get sad. I told you, you got to grow your network.
That's kind of sad.
And
That's not nice.
that's the only way you. That's your goal for this week. You really need to grow your network, Alex.
I need to grow. Well, I need to grow some more hair, Norma, if possible. That would be priority number 1. Then grow my network, and then. How long have you been on Facebook, Norma? We've talked about this. And by the way, they changed it up. It's just
No,
on
no,
the wreck today.
Alex, you can. Well, I'll have to show you later, but you can switch it back to the former version of it.
Yeah.
So
Please,
there's a way you can.
Please
do
hold
it.
my hand, Miss Producer. I have no idea. Hold my hand, Miss Producer, because I don't know what's going on. I'm really confused right now. It's just not right what's happening. All right, Norma, we're back to the show. I'm sorry, I had a moment there. It's what happens. It's what happens when this doesn't go right for me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Deportes Nation, live at night is what we like to call the show. And I'm excited, Norma, because a lot to talk about. And I'm also excited because people are actually watching for once. So that's pretty good. How many people did you bribe to come watch us today, Norma?
I didn't bribe anyone, Alex.
No? You're sure?
Not today. I didn't bribe anyone today. I didn't get a chance.
All
But
right,
I'm
well,
glad people are watching now.
If I have any friends, free massages from Uncle Alex if you watch.
Ew, that's
No? Too much?
now that you too much, because now that you said that, our ratings are about
The
to
ratings
drop,
just
so.
tanked, Norma. So, all right, forget the damages. Norma, I'm looking fat on camera. I don't know. I've been eating
I
too
know.
much, Norma.
I know. I'm not like, I told you I'm limited on my hair stuff, and this is the best that I can do today. And until I order my own
Yes.
flat iron, I have one in my other restroom that my husband's using that I can't get into. So I have no hair supply, no nothing to do my hair, which is crazy.
It's obvious, Norma. It doesn't look very good. Do you have anything to sell today? Norma's item of the day? You're just randomly going to grab something, Norma, and pitch it? Because last time ratings went up when you sold stuff.
Oh, I do have one thing which I always carry with me.
Please, here we go.
It's cosmetics because those.
Norma, you have no idea. I have a lot of cosmetics on just to get me in front of the camera.
You know what? Actually, anybody could really use this, Alex.
What is it, Norma? Go ahead.
It's a lip gloss from Glossier. It's like the best lip gloss, the lip balm, I should say, ever. Like, this is the best. And this one that I have is called mintbalm.com.
Wow. There you go. A free plug. Maybe Facebook just took us off the air, Norma. Thank you for advertising. But
No, but this is my favorite lip balm. And I tell you, it is so good.
And
very good.
That's what helped your lips, Norma? Yeah. Okay. No.
Anyways,
all right. Well, let's get started, Norma, with how about a little bit of news from the NFL? And Norma, what a contract. Quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. Mahomes, has said, cha-ching, $500 million over 10 years. It's incredible, Norma, the salaries that these players now in the NFL and in other leagues really are getting year to year. Patrick Mahomes, obviously with the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl MVP, winner with a Super Bowl winner. It's a great team. He's a great young man and a great quarterback. $500 million to play football. Look, the market speaks. I believe in a free market. I believe in the ability for people to earn money, supply and demand. $500 million, Norma. Too much, too little, not enough, or just right? That's the question.
Well, my first question is he's single. That's my first question.
Norma, I'm going to be honest. If he were to ask Alex to marry him, I'm divorcing my wife today. Sorry, honey.
Come on, 500 million? No. That's ridiculous. I mean, you know what, Alex? I thought about this today. Mm-hmm. You know, I wonder how the other players feel. You know, they probably are only getting a couple of million. Only. You know, and then for them to see him get 500, I mean, that comes out. That's over what 10-year contract, though, right?
10-year contract. 10-year, roughly $40-some million per year.
But still, 40-something thousand. I mean, come on, Alex. Compared to some of the other players, I'm just wondering if this kind of strikes a chord with some of the other players that they're not getting as much, and they're putting as much work, etc. But
yeah, I get that. You know, and Norma, in every business, there are people that earn more than others, and I believe in a free economy. I genuinely do. I think that other players maybe can get motivated to know. For instance, in other quarterbacks now will be looking at this contract and saying, okay, if I'm on par with this young man, if I have stats that prove it, if I have numbers that allow me to be in his stratosphere, I should be paid accordingly. So the NFL taking a big jump and getting to that point where they're saying, you know what, this is some serious money. Linemen and other players maybe that protect him are probably saying, I hope you buy me a couple of steak dinners, Mr. Mahomes, because I'm protecting you here. But I get it. I don't think it's jealousy. I think it's appreciating, Norma, that there are winners, if you will, in the game of life, and this is part of it. What would you do, Norma, with a $10 million? If tomorrow the Deportes Nation.
Hold on,
she's laughing.
Let's laugh.
Miss
a
Producer,
bit
she's
right
laughing already.
But we could dream about this. So go ahead, Alex.
Let's go ahead and dream, Norma. You get $45 million a year. Let's say they take taxes. You're taking home $30 million a year, Norma. Number one, you probably wouldn't be on the show ever again, right?
No, I would still be on it. It's fun.
Yeah, you just have a better camera. You just have a better host. You co-host. You get rid of Uncle Alex.
No comment. But keep going, Alex.
No comment. I mean, no comment.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. I mean, what would I do with that money? Oh my gosh, I could do anything with that money.
You would donate to the Uncle Alex GoFundMe fund. What is it called?
Oh, I would have to share with you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, well, Alex, let's just say the Deportes Nation paid me 40-something thousand and only paid you. Well, 5,000. No, 40 to 50. I'm just laughing because I'm sure they would pay me more than you, right?
There's no doubt in my mind.
Would you be okay with that?
Norma, you're the star of the show. Without you and your Facebook followers, I'd be watching myself. And even I'd turn myself off after a while.
You're right.
I was like, what's wrong with you?
After a while, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Norma, speaking of friends, Lisa has said guns up. I guess that's lingo for, hey, I'm ready, let's go?
No, Alex, Mahomes was played at Texas Tech.
Oh, you're right. You're right. This thing here. A Red Raider. You see. Yeah. This is why I'm so. Even the Miss Producer's laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me?
It's common knowledge.
It's common knowledge, says Miss Producer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been to Lubbock. Okay, I've been to Lubbock once, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, back to business, Norma. I'm sorry. I get distracted by Miss Producer, who's trying to tell me things. Yes, Lisa, guns up. I knew exactly what that meant. Go Red Raiders. Go Red Raiders. And from Lubbock, Texas, Norma, this young man now with Kansas City, the highest paid athlete in the NFL, I believe the highest paid athlete in the world. as far as that goes. Mayweather there with Floyd Mayweather Jr. earning in that stratosphere per year of 40 to 50 million dollars. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely a development. It's definitely a growth in what the NFL is. And Norma, what does that tell you? That the NFL, even in these uncertain times, is certainly not hurting for money if they're making this kind of $500 million commitment.
Yeah, I don't think they're hurting at all. But hey, it must be nice. Must be nice to get that money.
Yeah, this show's hurting. I'm telling you that, Norma. Our ratings just dropped like a balloon. So I have no idea what's happening. Norma, yesterday in our show, in our comeback show, if you will, after the 4th of July holiday, you mentioned President Trump and a tweet he had about NASCAR and about Bubba, is it Wallace, correct?
Wallace.
I want to call him Bubba Watson, like the golfer, but that's, this producer's laughing at me. Two separate Bubbas. But my point was, he came out, President Trump, and said that basically Bubba Wallace should apologize for the hoax, as he sees it, that was an overreaction. And we had a little bit of that debate. Well, your president, Norma, just yesterday came out with this tweet, and we're putting it up on the screen. It says, they name teams out of strength, not weakness. But now the Washington Redskins and Cleveland Indians, two fabled sports franchises, look like they are going to be changing their name in order to be politically correct. Indians, like Elizabeth Warren, senator, must be very angry right now. That's sarcasm, by the way, from the president there at the end.
I was going to say that's a low blow. Come on.
In case you didn't get it. But my point, Norma, in bringing this tweet up from the president is he right, Norma? Is this current movement of social awareness leading people to force people, these franchises, to change their names to be politically correct? And maybe the point the president's trying to make is they shouldn't. As I read this, is he saying no? Those are strong names. Indians, Redskins, they should remain.
I mean, yeah, I looked up, Alex, and the Indians have had that name since 1915 and Washington since 1933. Does that seem about correct? I don't know if those are the real facts.
No, you are correct. There's been movements.
Right.
There's been movements in cities. The franchise that's currently the Washington Redskins, but the nickname of the Redskins has been there for many, many years, Norma.
Right. Yeah. So with this, I get it, but first of all, I don't like how the tweet came out. I mean, I know we're talking about in regards to logistics of the purpose of why he put it out because of changing the name. They've had the names for a long time, I understand, but is this the time to look at it and change it? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
You don't want to make a commitment, Norma. Here's my point. As we evaluate, as we look at revising the way things are, Norma, what may or may not be just in our society, is this a valid point? Is anyone that's not happy with whatever we call ourselves or our businesses or our communities, is it time to make changes? And look, this is very clearly associated with what's considered a minority group, right? To me, there's no doubt, Norma, as you look at history, and you can call it whatever you want to, but I call it the genocide of the American Indian. It's a fact. It occurred. Native Indians to what's currently the United States were basically run over. We're basically told we have manifest destiny. We are taking over this country, and that's the way it is. And it was done through force. It was done through other means. And it's happened. It's happened. Like slavery, it's happened. The question is, Norma, how do we present that? In our history books, it's presented as a conquest of people that were not civilized. That happened throughout the Americas with the European conquest. That people came in and said, look, we're stronger than you. We have, quote unquote, more intelligence than you. We're going to modernize you. Religion was a part of this, Norma, as you well know. But
right.
my point is, this is the way we look at history now. And the winners, the conquerors, write history. The losers usually don't, Norma. So losers in the sense of those that are not winning, that are not winning the battles. And as ratings continue to drop, Norma, when I go off on these soliloquies. My point is, it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to question. If something stands for values long term, they should withstand criticism. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense, Alex. I mean, do you want to continue with your
A
your rant
soliloquy?
over?
No, I'm going to have a drink right now, Norma.
I just want to make sure we don't drop any more followers.
Yeah, I mean, we dropped half our audience right there, Norma. It's not my fault, Miss Producer. She's yelling at me. I'm just reading the script she gives me. I don't know. We'll get back to you later. I don't like that, Norma. I'm very confused by our producer. She's supposed to be helping me out, and it's not working. So now we know what Trump does too, Norma. Trump likes to be involved. He'd rather talk about this than talk about other things like COVID-19, our response to it as a country. So I get it. It's a game he plays. I don't take his tweets seriously, Norma, meaning they don't offend me or upset me. It's a strategy, and good for him. I think he's figured out that if he keeps needling people, he'll continue in a way to control the rhythm, control the narrative, and that's at the end of the day, I frankly think, Norma, that's what he wants.
You think so, Alex?
Oh, I know so. I don't know him personally, Norma. I don't think he'd meet with me.
I try not to read a lot of his tweets, Alex. I do, and then it just kind of...
Yeah, but did you ever think, Norma, back in the day when you were much younger, last century, that social media would be driving? Well, social media didn't exist when you were young, but or when I was young. That a president would be tweeting in this way and get so many followers and responses, and in a way, he's kind of suckered us into, whatever he says, let's react. That's the world we live in. If you agree with it, whoa, you put it up on the screen and you say it's great. If you disagree with it, you put it up on the screen and you disagree with it. Man, not a dumb person.
No, I think that's at anybody's platform, right? Anyone who has a big audience, they're going to say whatever they want to say, and people are going to agree, people are going to disagree, people are going to be against them, and people are going to be for them. So, yeah, back, growing up, I mean, we didn't have all this social media stuff. So we really didn't know what was going on in the real world, I should say, unless you went home and saw the news or turn on the radio or...
Turn on the radio. You sound old, Norma.
Read the newspaper. I know, I feel old, actually, Alex.
Well, we would watch the smoke signals come in from the hill, and we knew it was time. Was it that bad, Norma?
No, I mean, it's just now with social media, Alex, you can find out anything. I mean, not just social media, but the internet, period.
Well,
So,
Norma, I love the proliferation of technology. It allows you and I to be on the air as well. So that's a good thing. Before you had, I remember 3 channels, Norma, back in the day with one of those TVs, I don't know if you remember that. 3 channels, Norma. And TV would go off like at midnight. Miss Producer, I don't know if you knew that. TV would go off at midnight, Norma. They'd play the national anthem, and then you get bars. Not like bars for drinking, but bars on your screen. Till 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning when literally they would play the anthem again, and then you'd have cartoons on or something like, or religious programs. Well, that's my experience. Obviously, nobody knows what the heck I'm talking about.
That must have been a very long time ago. But we get it, Alex.
Or maybe it was a dream. All I see in the comments is, tell the old man to stop trying to remember the past.
Or tell him to take his medication. Either or,
that's
right?
True. Missy is with us, Norma. She says, hi, heart. I don't know what that means.
Hi, Missy.
Look at Missy. Missy is another friend of Norma's. Even the producer's laughing at that. Someone needs to write. You know what? I'm going to write myself a note, Norma. Right. Hi, Alex. You're great. You're great. Let's see if I did this right. Oh, I just did it, Norma. Very excited that I'm allowing myself.
No. The thing is, you did it on the wrong platform. You did it on the Deportes Nation platform rather than your personal one.
Okay, well, there you go. I can't even praise myself. I can't even praise myself, I said, the right way, Norma.
Yeah, that's okay, Alex.
There you go. Missy, thank you for joining us, and we really appreciate you. She came and went, Norma. I think she's done with the show. She just had a few minutes. Norma, we were talking... Go ahead.
No, I said at least she stopped by and said hi. That's what's more
We
important.
appreciate it. Just send the check.
Yeah.
Send the check. Care of Alex Parra, 1234 Smith Avenue. That's in Lufkin, Texas. I just picked on Lufkin, Texas. Why not, right? No, Lubbock, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Lubbock, Texas.
Thanks to Lisa. Guns up. Sorry, I missed that, Lisa. You have a couple of family members, Norma, that have gone or are going to tech. Am I right?
No, my niece went to Tech. My niece graduated from Texas Tech.
Well, congratulations to her. What does she do now, Norma? Does she want to be a producer on Deportes Nation?
No,
We
she
take
actually,
anybody. Trust me.
No, I mean I'm sure she would love to.
Oh yes.
But she is going to. She's trying to go to law school.
She's trying to feed herself. Yes.
She's trying to get paid. Like she just say, she's trying to make an actual.
What is your
job.
what is your niece's name?
Brittany.
Brittany. Brittany.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Brittany's not watching, I'm sure, Norma. But if she were, this goes out to you, Brittany. I'm not going to sing or anything. It's just a shout out. Norma, you mentioned, we mentioned President Trump. Another politician in the news, Norma. This has to do with Senator Kelly Loeffler. She is a senator, a Republican senator from the state of Georgia. She's also a part owner of the Atlanta franchise of the WNBA. And in the last couple of days, she has been quoted with some interesting words regarding sports. And let's put that up on the screen. She says, quote, "The truth is, we need less, not more politics in sports. In a time when polarizing politics is as divisive as ever, sports has the power to be a unifying antidote." And I agree with that statement. By the way, this is courtesy of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And my point in bringing this quote up, Norma, is that if you just take this quote, I don't think there's much disagreement about it. I think we all agree that sports can unify us. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But the point here, my understanding, is that Senator Loeffler doesn't want the WNBA to be associated with Black Lives Matter. And WNBA players, Norma, who are 80% minority women, are basically coming out and saying that she, Senator Loeffler, should be kicked out of the league, that she doesn't deserve to be an owner of this team. So we go back to politics, Norma. And should then players dictate the ownership of a team? This lady, from my understanding, has been a successful businesswoman. She's obviously a successful politician. She was elected to the U.S. Senate, and congratulations to her. But her political view now is to say, look, let's get away from Black Lives Matter. Let's have less politics in sports. When many athletes, Norma, right now are saying, no, we need to use sports as a platform for social messaging. What does Norma Morales say?
You know, I mean, currently right now, Alex, I mean, a lot of athletes are coming out, of course, in different aspects of it, of, basically telling us what their views are, right? Into politics. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Everybody has their opinion to say what they want to at this point. It's a lot more than usual before, right? I think with everything that's going on, it's been a lot more. We heard a lot more voices. I think it's good. I think, everyone has the right to say what their view is. But again, does it go back? Does it have people second guess the athletes themselves? Do they say, oh, well, I don't like their political views, I'm not going to be a big fan of them? What do others think in regards to that? Does that change their image? Does that change their way of thinking of who they are as an athlete?
Sure. Well, Norma, but let's carry this to any other line of work. So let's say you and I are working for X company, and the owner of X company has a different political view than you and I. Does that give us the right, because we don't agree with the owner's point of view, to say, yeah, you don't deserve to be part of this company, get out. I still want my job, I still want all the same conditions, but you now have to go. That, I think, Norma, is taking it to an extreme. I agree in disagreeing. I agree in voicing your opinion. And I think if you think through what it is you're trying to talk about and say, and even if you're not, in this day and age, Norma, with social media, again, an instant reaction is what people want. I get it. And by the way, Missy Johnson saying, hashtag Black Lives Matter. I understand, I believe strongly in the equality of people. my point, Norma, my point is, how far do we push this? And if we disagree with anyone, that we don't share a same philosophy and or political or social point of view, does that allow us to call for the ouster of that person? To say, no, I don't agree with you, you got to go. That's almost the opposite of being tolerant. It's being intolerant, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a way for us to respect each other. I mean, again, people are going to have their views. People are going to be very strong in their views, Alex. You and I disagree all the time.
Yes, we do, by the way.
We do. And we've disagreed about politics too. You and I talk about it, and we've argued. Not
and
argued.
No.
But
we came to blows at one time, Norma, and I let you win.
We did.
We did. I let you win.
No,
because I'm a gentleman.
But what happened? What happened almost a year later? What happened though at that point? What did I say? Who's right? Right?
Well, no. I was right, and then you got mad and just swung at me.
Yeah, right.
I guess you don't remember it just like I did.
No, that's not.
We'll have to find the footage of that. Of that. I won't call it a fight. Of that incident. Let's call it that.
But I mean, people are going to have strong, opinions, Alex. And the thing is like, how can we unite to kind of work it out, or at least understand each other's opinions and aspects of it?
But Norma, there are things that cross the line, right? There are things, for instance, in the Me Too movement, there are things that cross the line. What Harvey Weinstein did is criminal. What he did to women, the way he controlled women, the way he was I'm going to use these words, Norma, from what I know from the trial, an animal, that crosses the line, and it's more than a difference of opinion. It truly is wrong, and that's criminal and should be called out. Does a different political point of view rise to that? That's my point. I agree with us disagreeing, but how far are we pushing this? Might we, Norma, might we get to the point in time where again, we are so sensitive that two things are going to happen, Norma. People are going to take their place, right, in one corner or another, or people are going to just, like it's happened in the past, nice and quiet. We're just, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Never mind. Politics, religion. You go to Thanksgiving dinner when they let me eat with the adults on the table, Norma, and we don't want to talk about those things because we know someone, especially after a couple of coronitas, Norma, is not going to be very happy with someone else's opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it can spark some fire at the dinner table, right?
It can. So there you go, the WNBA, and even now, Norma, we're seeing a lot more WNBA players, right, Miss Producer, who are basically calling for the ouster of this senator. As a WNBA owner. So that's something we're going to be watching, Norma, because it really puts it in a very, 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 very interesting position for all of us. Norma, sports in general, and we're rolling just a little bit of video of what sports can be. Instead of a way to be divisive, it can be a way to bring us together. Norma, how many watch parties have you gone to, maybe during the World Cup? Maybe Super Bowl parties. Well, maybe you're more worried about the commercials than I am. But anytime, Norma, we've had friends and family. I know you're a big combat, MMA, boxing fan. I'm sure you've had watch parties. That brings us together. And for a moment, Norma, for a couple of hours, maybe we can forget all about, Norma, the political issues, the religious issues, the things that separate us, and sports brings us together. So as challenging as these times are, Norma, there is a benefit to sports at every level. At the youth level, for exercise, learning about competition, learning about winning and losing. In the college, high school, college, and professional, as entertainment, Norma, and as a way, guns up, to bring us together, right? How many guns up people are out there saying, you know what, I go watch my university. This is mine. I grew up with this. This is my tradition. It happens in every sport throughout the world. That's a really positive side of sports.
I mean, it is. It's more of gathering, doing the, tailgating at football games, at UT, at any football game, really.
Yeah, why did you mention UT? No, how about OU, Oklahoma?
OU.
Right? Miss Producer.
Because I knew that was going to upset you. I had a reason why I said UT,
Okay,
Texas
Miss
Longhorns,
Producer,
Alex.
you got to do something about this. I'm working hard here.
Because
I'm reading the prompter, and she goes off and just.
I know. I knew it was going to strike a chord with you, Alex. That's why I
Okay,
said
we'll get
you
back
too.
to Miss Producer later. You were saying,
But
Norma,
yeah,
forgive me.
but anyways, I mean, yeah, sports. I mean, it brings you together. I mean, we've had a lot of boxing, get-togethers, and when there's a big boxing
By the
match
way, I've
that's
never been
coming up.
invited, so a lot of those didn't include Uncle Alex.
Well, it's friends that we invite.
That's friends. That's the word.
I mean, we haven't had one for a very long time,
No,
Alex.
it's
Maybe
too
the
late.
next one will
It's
invite
too
you.
late. It's too late, Norma. You
No, no.
you
Have
cut me
you
deep, Shrek. You cut me real
Oh,
deep.
oh, okay. Well, we'll remember that when you want help in streaming your some boxing on your end, right?
Actually, you saved my life one day, Norma. I'll tell the story quickly, and maybe someone's going to sue us, Norma. We were away. We were away at a college football game in well, we'll mention the city, Norman, Oklahoma. And literally after the match, after the game, there was a boxing pay-per-view. And Norma, I think it was Canelo, right?
I think it was.
It was
Yes.
Canelo, and we could not get it on any of our devices. Somehow Norma, I don't know what magic she worked, but suddenly it was appearing on my phone. And it was the best ever. Norma, we had 30 people around my phone watching your feed. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and I
A
still
pirated feed, I might add.
I know. I still haven't gotten that payment for that for supplying.
Norma, we send the check.
The
Just
fight.
double check, Norma. It's probably in the mail.
Yeah. Or that, or I tried cashing it in, it bounced. One of the two.
Yeah, there's no fun. It's the Deportes Nation fund is very low, Norma.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. By the way, Missy Johnson says OU, and I don't know if that's a nasty image. Oh, she's just laughing at us.
I think she's laughing at you.
I think it's a collective us, Norma. It's not Missy. By the way, Missy's off the show now. We're not going to mention her ever again. She's done. She's done. She's done.
That's funny.
So what do you? So Norma, sports bringing us together. It's important. I think we all, again, whether we are participating, whether we're coaching, whether we're fans and watching, it really is a moment. And the longer we go, Norma, the more we miss it. To be honest with you, I've been blessed to cover sports. I can't even believe I'm saying this, for 25 years. Enrique and I were talking this morning. Norma, sorry. I'm confused at this late hour, Norma. I have no idea.
Okay.
Who am I? Now I know. Now I know. I used to look at older people, Norma, and say, "What's wrong with that man? He forgot everything." And now I'm there. But Enrique and I know each other, Norma, since the early '90s, and again, we were young and beautiful, and we believed in things. Now we're still beautiful, at least. But my point is, Norma, sports have really, you see and live all kinds of things, good and bad. This is a crossroads to me, because if sports are not handled well, Norma, I think people are willing to even jeopardize the financial side to say, no, enough is enough. And I think that's, in the past, athletes have been very quiet, Norma, and saying, you know what, I'd rather make my millions and not make any waves. I think that line's been crossed now, Norma, and athletes are going to be standing up.
Yeah, I think so too, Alex. I think the more we're going to start talking, the more we're going to start being more vocal. But yeah, we'll see if it affects sports overall and people get turned off on it and wind up not supporting it. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in that part.
It's very likely and possible. Norma, let's move on to one more thing that I think is relevant. What's happening in sports? Basically, racing. And I don't mean race like we've been discussing socially, but horse racing, dog racing, etc., and sports. Right now, we see a lot of sports leagues that not only are accepting of betting, Vegas type betting, sports betting, Norma, but are actually making arrangements and deals. You remember a few years back, Norma, when Pete Rose was chastised for betting on baseball? And it was seen as, oh, no, we don't bet. It's one of those things, we never cross that line. Norma, it's business, and it's bringing sports leagues more business. Again, something that was not even tolerated or at all supported by sports teams is now just to the contrary. It's accepted, it's embraced. The experience at stadiums soon will not only be, hey, buy your $18 beer, Norma, but it'll be place your bet, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bet. Why? Because the league is getting a cut from it. Isn't it funny how we change when it's to our benefit?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they're getting a cut. I mean, growing up, Alex, I thought that was the norm. Where your parents or your cousins, aunts and uncles, they're all, when it comes to football season, they're buying squares of how they can win that money at the end of the everything, So it's normal, right? I think it's just part of, everyone does it. That's how I grew up. And, now, yeah, I get it. I mean, right now, if the leagues are getting a cut, they're going to embrace it. Right now, it's, gambling on anything. You even on the Super Bowl, you can put a bet on what the halftime show is and what little things are, et cetera, and people are getting money out of it. So,
What
is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Norma,
I don't see a problem with it.
Aren't we taught when we're young there's certain things we shouldn't do, And one of the one of the items on the list is you shouldn't gamble. At least when I grew up, right?
But Alex, but see, for me, I mean,
I don't know where you grew up, but
I just always.
What else were you allowed to do at a young age, Norma? Were you drinking a little bit?
No, I mean, it's all good and fun as long as you don't
until you lose the car, the mortgage in the house, right?
Until you get addicted to it. You don't want to get too addicted to gambling, but it's all good and fun. But I mean, yeah, there are people out there, Alex, that have issues on that.
Norma,
I mean, it could be serious.
Maybe this is the wrong analogy, and someone's going to slap me. Is it like drinking, Norma? It's okay to have a drink or two, but there's that guy that can't stop at 1 or 2 and has to have 12. And before you know it, he's having 12 every other night. And before you know it, he's having 12 every night. And he's not showing up for work. He is still gambling. But does that make sense? Again, we've been taught, I am older than most of you, ladies and gentlemen, that there's certain sins in life. I went to Catholic school, Norma. That's a whole other show, by the way.
Yeah, that didn't help. That didn't help.
I was an altar boy. Again, a whole other show.
Oh, we could go on talking about that.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I was good. I would ring the bells, Norma, and carry the thing. I was really good. I was really good in my own mind. And that's when I knew what Mass was about back in the day, Norma. Now I've kind of lost track of what Mass should be. But my point is, we were told certain things, and we gamble. Oh, you would never gamble unless, but in case there's these exceptions. But when the little cuadritos came around, nobody told you that was gambling, right? When the Final Four came around, oh, it's okay to bet on that. Oh, it's okay. It's okay to bet on the dogfight in the neighborhood next door. That's okay. Again, we fool ourselves into this, Norma. But at the end of the day, my point is, betting in sports is now part of an institution, part of the entertainment value, and why not, right? Have you ever gone to the dog races, Norma? Horse racing.
I've been to a horse race. I mean, come on, look at Vegas. You that's what you do. You go gamble, right?
Well,
and I used to go to bingo all the time
with
my grandmother go to bingo.
Bingo.
Is that called
bingo at the church? At the church, Mama.
At the church. Yes.
The diocese was getting their cut.
Exactly. I mean, it's gambling, right? Bingo, is that gambling? Yeah.
Norma, no? There's cash involved. It's gambling.
Well, I mean, I grew up, Alex. I mean, I grew up going to bingo with my grandmother. You were a gambler.
So you're basically saying that your grandma got you into your grandma started your gambling problem.
No, I'm just saying, like, for me, it was just the norm. Like, I see it every year when it came to squares for football. For anything, I saw it, with bingo. I saw it with us playing cards at the dinner table and money's on the table. I mean,
you saw it with
all good and
playing
fun,
Russian roulette. Playing Russian roulette. No, you didn't do that. That was just
that's why I love Vegas so much, right? I mean, who doesn't love Vegas?
Well, Vegas is entertainment, Norma. When I think most people rationalize it and say, "Look, I'm going to go there, but I'm not going to come out a big winner. I'm spending money." The casinos are designed to take our money, aren't they? And have great buffets, by the way. Uncle Alex is hungry.
but when you go to Vegas, Alex, you got to set your limit. Depending, for me,
the limit at the buffet or for gambling?
No, for gamble. I
Oh.
mean, if you go to Vegas, you gotta at least gamble a little bit just to get that experience, right? I'm not a big gambler though. I mean, I'll say I'm only gonna spend X amount and just have some fun with it. And
Sure.
I may not win anything. I may break even. Who knows?
What's been the
But
biggest jackpot? Norma, I won one time thousands of dollars at Kashada years ago, and since then it's never been the same. Meaning, well, I'm a loser basically.
I don't think I've won a lot of money,
No?
Alex. I think I maybe won maybe 200, not
Yeah?
much,
Yeah.
or
Well.
broke even, but nothing big.
What about you, ladies and gentlemen? Have any of you ever won a large gamble, a large bet? Maybe you can tell us about that. Norma, we're doing our top cinco tonight, this evening, whatever you want to call it. Speaking of your day, Norma, we're gonna, because I'm a gentleman, Norma, I'm gonna say, why don't we have Norma give us her top 5? The category this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and one day we'll have music for this, Miss Producer. I think that'll add to the shock value. Here we go, Norma. Top 5 uniforms of all time. Miss Norma Morales, take it away. You want to start with 5? Yeah.
I'll start with 5.
You can do whatever
my
you
number,
want, Norma.
my number 5, I would say it would be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I love their uniform. I love the colors. I mean, the fan base. I mean, they're just so bright. I think they have a great look on their uniforms. Number 4 is Houston Oilers, old school, right? The baby blue.
Yeah. Love
With
your,
all
the
red
love your
on-
blue days, Norma?
Yeah,
Okay.
that to me is a sharp uniform. Number 3, I have to go with New York Yankees. I mean, it's just basic.
The pinstripes, the classic
the
look.
pinstripes, the classic look. Even now, I mean, it still looks classy. So I'd have to go with the Yankees on that one. Number 2, LSU.
The
gold and
Tigers,
purple.
really? Wow, you like that?
Yeah, it's just the purple and yellow. I like it. I just like those colors.
All right, well, you know.
I like their uniform. And then you can't go wrong, Alex, number 1 with the Houston Astros. Old school, 1970 look.
Look at
I mean,
look at
that
Nolan
is
Ryan with that
throwback.
uniform. Wow.
That's a throwback. I love that uniform.
You know, I think it was so ugly that it's now really in. And Miss Producer, who's
It
young,
is.
Miss Producer, who's young, that's a great top 5, Norma. Let's see. Miss Producer, do you like the Astros uniform? What's Miss Producer's trying to say? Yes, I think. Why do you like it, Miss Producer? You can't shake the camera.
It's like a retro trend that's come back.
A retro trend that's come
Yeah.
back. I kind of agree with that. You know, thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Producer. By the way, we don't pay you to be on camera, so don't even think about that. She wants money.
Yeah,
The less
it's
you
just
talk,
a
the better
retro
for the
look.
production.
You know, Alex, it's one of those looks that it looked good back then and it still looks good now. You know, and people still are wearing it, and it's just like what Missy just said. It's the retro look. It's just
It
it's
is.
just a
It
cool
is.
look.
But you know, for a while there, it was embarrassing, Norma. For a while there, it was like, wow,
No,
what were
it
we
was
thinking?
not.
Yeah, come on, Norma. About 1985 to 1990, it was like, let's move. Actually, the Astros did move away from that uniform, Norma. In the Roger Clemens days, remember they almost went to
Yeah,
like
Roger Clemens.
back in the day with the Andy Pettit, etc. In the late 90s, early 2000s, they moved away from that. But you know what? You might as well embrace it. It's your baby. You might as well love him, no matter how pretty
Yeah.
or maybe not so pretty he or she is. Norma, I'm going to hit you with my top 5, and let's see
Okay.
if you agree or disagree with me. At number 5, Norma, we have a tie. Miss Producer said,
Yep.
you can't do that. I said, yes, I can. And I said, please write this down. 2 classics of American sports. The New York Yankees, I agree with you on this one, Norma. The pinstripe, and the Dallas Cowboys. When I grew up in Mexico, the star, the silver, the look,
Okay, go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
the look of the Dallas Cowboys was a classic. Of course, I'm going back to the Roger Staubach days, Tom Landry as the coach. This was before Jimmy Johnson and the new crop of Dallas Cowboys. Number 4, we agree on something, Norma. The Houston Astros look, and I guess I should have been more specific in the retro arcoiris kind of look like you just showed us. So yes, I agree with that.
Alex, I just want to interrupt you real quick. Missy just said that's her cousin, Lance Berkman, that played.
Oh, really?
with the Houston Astros. Yeah, so that's her cousin. Just so you'll know that.
We all remember Astros fans, Lance Bergman. So yeah, shout out to Lance and Missy. Thank you, and send us an autographed jersey so we can give it away on Deportes Nation. That's basically what we need. Number 3, 2 and 1, Norma. To me, those of you that know a little bit about Italian soccer, calcio italiano as they call it, will recognize these. Number 3, AC Milan. Number 2, Napoli, and mainly the jersey that Maradona wore when he was with Napoli back in the day. Beautiful light blue. I love that uniform. But Norma, before it was popular in celebrating, and maybe the word isn't celebrating, of acknowledging breast cancer awareness.
Breast cancer.
During October, Norma, Palermo wore the pink. And at the time, it was, what is this team doing? But Palermo, I was always impressed by the color, and I said, I didn't know that was possible. I didn't think they could do that. But it's a good look. It's a beautiful look. To me, it's really timeless. And as you can tell, I'm into Italian soccer because the top 3 there were from Calcio Italiano. Norma, did we leave someone off that list? You think that belongs there or should be there?
I mean, there's one that shouldn't be there as the Dallas Cowboys, but I'll let you keep it on there.
Thank you, Miss Producer. I hope you heard that. I'm just.
Missy, yeah. Did you see Missy says after it?
No.
She said she'll give us one after she gets hers.
Well, we're in line right there with you, Missy. So yeah, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. That's exciting though, Norma. Yeah, uniforms, Norma, shape can really be the catalyst of a franchise. And again, back to the business side, Norma. If you find a look that is either classic or that people like and enjoy, you'll sell more jerseys. A measure for every league, Norma, every year is which jersey is selling the most. The Chicharito jersey. Is it the Olajuwon jersey? Is it the Kobe jersey? May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Is it the LeBron jersey? That's how not only apparel companies but leagues can gauge who their most popular player or players or team is, depending on my English there. But it's interesting, Norma. All of us have a kind of slightly different point of view. I think one maybe, Norma, we miss from there would be speaking of Houston, the Rockets uniforms back in the day. They were also kind of they've gone through a lot of reincarnations and looks. And teams really think this through, Norma. When I was with the Rockets, it was an entire process of keeping certain things, certain elements, but also knowing we've got to modernize and kind of stay current. You look back now, Norma, even at uniforms from the 70s, from basketball. By the way, the shorts in the 70s and 80s were really tight. And then they got really big.
I was going to say that. They were pretty tight, weren't they, back then?
Yeah, there's a couple of pictures of Uncle Alex playing soccer back in the 80s, Norma. Very little left to the imagination. Very little left to the imagination. And then we went to the baggy look, Norma, in the 90s and early 2000s, and then the fitted look. So it's a whole industry, the whole apparel industry, etc. So there you go.
Yeah.
You know what? Missy just said Chicharito. I guess she's referring to uniform, and Mexico's goalie, Campos goalie. The jerseys from Campos were really just out of control back in the day, if you remember. Jorge Campos and his crazy wild jersey. So, and it's endearing. Go ahead.
Yeah, and going with Chicharito, that's one jersey that I do want. I do want his jersey. Maybe that's something that you could give me, since I don't get paid. Maybe you can buy me a Chicharito.
I've had
the Mexico, because he's played for West Ham. He's played for others, but
he's played for Man U. He's currently with the LA Galaxy. Yeah, but
but I would like the Mexico one, Alex.
Well,
Can you put that on your list?
I've had the opportunity to actually interview Chicharito one-on-one a couple of times. One time right before he went to Europe to Man U, and he stopped by Houston, and we all had the opportunity to sit down with him. Very nice young man. At the time, he was going into this new adventure of European soccer. But, let's see what he does with the LA Galaxy. But, yeah, there are certainly some iconic uniforms that many people... And, Norma, it's big business. I mean, if you get it framed originally or a game worn jersey, it can be thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much my Akeem Olajuwon jersey is.
You know, where is it, Norma? Can you show it to us on the show?
You know what?
Bring it by my house. I'll appraise it and I'll get back to you. Why
I mean,
is
that
she
thing
laughing?
is that jersey that I have, Alex, is huge. If I put it on, it'll be to my knees. Literally, it's like huge. So yeah, I wonder how much it is. I don't know.
Uncle
But
Alex
I would
Alex
never
will
sell
appraise it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I would never sell it. That's one thing that I got that I won.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this at one of our past shows. I did win that a couple of years back. It's been a long time back.
Something about
One of my
well, I remember the story. It went like this: you and your grandma were gambling. You were down to your last $20, and
No.
basically you said, "Okay, all in." They threw in the jersey, and you won.
No,
you were doing
no.
poker.
It was my first Houston Rockets game that I've ever been to.
Oh, that's what it
First
was.
game, and they had a raffle. I signed up for it just for the fun of it, and I won his jersey.
So you have one in gambling, Norma. That's gambling, isn't it? Isn't a raffle gambling?
No, no money was involved. Well, I guess if you take the jersey as value, then I guess you can consider.
So you better
that.
report it to the IRS, Norma. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Norma, believe it or not, we are almost getting to the end of the show. It's been fun this evening, Norma. What are you looking forward to the rest of the week, Norma? Soon we'll talk a little bit more about the NWSL tournament going out there in Utah. The MLS also starting up soon. Before the end of the month, baseball, NBA. It's exciting, Norma, to get back to sports. I know, many of us sports fans need it.
Yeah, no, I think we all need it. I think it'd be a good break to kind of be able to sit and watch it, an actual game, and not a recorded game that had happened a year or two or so. But
Yeah.
it's good to see a fresh game, you know?
It'll be different, Norma. I've been watching. Speaking of Italian soccer,
Yeah.
a match today from Italy, and it's different without the fans. It's almost like a scrimmage setting, so you are missing that part. But at least sports are trying to get back little by little. Norma, before we go, how are you feeling? How's your family? How are you guys doing?
We're doing good, Alex. We're hanging in there, taking it day by day, counting the days for our next testing. So far, so good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
And before we go, let's see here. Miss Producer, how are things? Did you enjoy the show today? Mm-hmm. That's a yes. Well, she doesn't know exactly how to do that. I don't know if I like the shot or not, Norma. It's right up my nose, but we'll use it in the meantime. So thank you, Miss Producer, for being with us today. I enjoy having anybody else in the room with me, Norma, rather than being all by myself. Norma, you know what? We'll crank up the music. And why don't you send us home, Ms. Norma? Thank everybody who. By the way, any other shout outs, Norma? Any questions? Nobody ever asks questions.
Yeah, nobody asked us. We had quite a few people make some comments. Missy made a lot of comments today.
Yeah.
We had quite a few comments, yeah.
Well, who's that? Who's the lady we're kicking out? Is that Missy? Who's the one that insulted me, Norma?
No, we can't have Missy. You can't kick Missy out because you want a signed jersey from Lance Bergman, right?
Yeah, no,
You
Missy's
can't kick
awesome.
her out.
Missy, we'll have the Missy segment every night from now on. As long as we get something out of it. That's the way
Yeah.
it works. Norma, thank you. Great work.
Yeah.
Great job today. Tomorrow, remember, let's see if I can pull this off, Norma. I don't have it in front of
Okay.
me. Tomorrow at noon, Enrique Vasquez and I doing Deportes
Yeah.
Nation in Espanol. We'll be talking sports, of course. And then tomorrow night, Norma, 10 o'clock, that's our time for Deportes Nation live at night. We're really enjoying it. And more than anything, Norma, we're really enjoying the people that are tuning in, listening,
Yeah.
watching, following us. And give us some feedback. You like it, you don't like it. Less of Norma, more of Alex. That's probably the way the show will go. I know that's going to get us.
No, but
some
Alex,
ratings.
you're right. We should get some feedback from people who are actually looking at our videos. It'd be good to get some feedback.
I like
from
the guy
everyone.
that wrote, Alex, you're doing a great job. You're awesome. Wait, that was me.
I know that was you on the wrong platform. Maybe
Yeah,
next time, Alex.
well, maybe next time. Norma, how about you wrap up? You take us home, Norma. Let's go.
Are you sure?
I am
You sure you
positive,
don't
Norma.
want to?
Send us home, Ms. Norma. Send us home.
Okay, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.
Ciao.
Bye.